Hello, welcome to episode 231 of the Datapack tutorial series, version 1.2.1.8. We are going to be killing entities when we look at them. Laser beam eyes. Well, we're not going to have laser beams, it's just going to be instant death. This was a request by TitanusAnime. How can I kill an entity when I look at it? So what we're going to do is we're going to have a list of entities that are affected. And we're going to have a predicate to check when we look at one of those entities. If we do look at one of those entities, we will run a raycast. And we will raycast and find the entity and kill it. What does that look like? Well, let's summon... I'm set it up to do boats. So let's get an acacia boat. And let's look at that boat. Yep. And the boat dies. There we go. Okay. Now, we do have a distance set on our raycast. We don't want it to go forever. So I think this would probably be too far. Yeah. But we can increase the distance. That's not a problem. When we go through the code and we make it, we'll have a look. And we get close enough. There we go. Okay, so that's what we're going to be making. I think I have updated or emptied the data pack. So if I do a reload, yeah, nothing's happening. Okay. So let's pop over to the data pack. All right, here we are. So let's make a list of things we want to kill. So inside my namespace, tags, entity type, we'll have a list. I've called it kill me. And we will have some values. And what entities do we want to kill? I'm going to say all Minecraft boats. Now, Minecraft have already made a list. So let's say it's one of your tag lists already from the Minecraft namespace, and it would just be boat. So that's going to be any boat. Okay. And why not? Let's put something else in there as well. Any boat and any armor stand. There we go. So those are the entities that are going to be affected. If you want to affect other entities, just add them to this list. Okay. Now we need a predicate to know if we are looking at one of those entities. So let's pop off to Misode, predicates, and we will do entity properties. The entity will be this. The predicate will be... Now this only works as a player, so we will be type specific. And the type will be player. And now it gives us a few extra options. And we'll say looking at. We'll say, what are you looking at? And we'll just say type is a string. And for the moment, I'm just going to say Minecraft boat. Now, our display over here seems to be set to inline. So let's take that off inline. There we go. That's a bit nicer. Okay, so we've coded that to look for any boat. Let's do that. Let's copy it. Well, let's pop it into our predicate file. Okay, so at the moment, this is going to return true if I'm looking at any boat. It is not using my entity type tag list. It is using one from Minecraft. So this should only work for boats. So we probably want to do a little test. So let's keep going. So let's go over to load. We need a score. This score we're going to use to limit how far the raycast can go. So I'm going to just say scoreboard, objectives, add, and I'm going to call it value. And it'll be a dummy. There we go. So we've got a score. And then let's go to tick. Check if the player is looking at an entity. Okay, so execute as all players if predicate of predicate. You are silly, Infernal. If predicate, my predicate is looking, yeah, at S. So we're going to run it at that player. Let's just run, say, hi. Okay. So if I'm looking at something in the is looking predicate, which is only Minecraft boats at the moment, it will say hi. If we do a reload. Yep, that said hi. But we also put armor stand in our list. So let's put an armor stand down. Nothing. Let's clear the chat. Nothing. Okay. So let's change this is looking predicate. So instead of using Minecraft namespace boat, it uses my namespace. And then we called it kill me. So my namespace is IDYT episode 231 Datapack. In fact, look, it's already bringing it up. Kill me. So now, instead of just looking for boats, it's going to come into here and look for boats and armor stands. Okay. And then if it does, it's going to say hi. Cool. Let's do a reload. So boat says hi. Yep. Clear chat, F3D. And armor stand says hi. Great. Well, you'll notice though, this command is running as me. It's me that's saying hi. So if I did kill at S, that's going to kill me every time I look at the entity. Well, that is clearly not what we want. Okay. So if the entity is looking at someone on that list, then instead of saying hi, we will... for some reason, I called my directory Instasplooge. Who knows? You call it what you like. I don't know why I called it that. So we will run a function instead, and we will initialize a raycast. Let's go to initialized raycast, or raycast init. Here we're going to use that value we set up in load. How many steps can the raycast take? We're going to be moving the raycast forward by 1/10 of a block. So let's say scoreboard players set. Let's have a fake player. We'll call them raycast max steps, and we'll say value. Let's just say 64. So since we're going 1/10 of a block each step, we could divide that by 10. We'd get 6.4. So effectively, we've got a range of 6.4 blocks. Okay. So if you want the range to be longer, make this number higher. If we set it to 100, we've got a range of about 10 blocks. If we set it to 200, we've got a range of about 20 blocks. I'll just leave it at 100. Why not? Now we need to start the raycast. So we will execute. We will attempt to execute. Execute. Now this currently is running at S, isn't it? At S. So it's running at me, which means it's running at my feet. I don't want it running at my feet. I want it to at least come from my eyes. So let's execute anchor to the eyes. And then we'll do positioned, and we'll just move it forward a little bit. So it's going to run one block. It's going to start in the direction I'm looking at my eye level, one block in front. And we will run a function raycast. Nothing to see yet if we did a test, so we will have to make the raycast function, raycast, decrement the distance check. So we're going to take 1 off that number that we set up before. Scoreboard players, remove raycast max steps value 1. So if that hits 0, we'll just end the raycast. If we don't do this, the raycast will just go on forever, which seems a bit crazy. Now we need to loop this function. So we will execute if score raycast max steps value matches 1 or higher. So it hasn't hit 0 yet. The raycast is still allowed to keep going. Then what we will do is we'll do positioned 0.1. We'll move forward 1/10 of a block. And let's do a check so you can't stare through walls. If block at those coordinates is a type of Minecraft air, so we want all of the airs, so we'll have the hashtag Minecraft, we'll use the block tag list air. So if the block is cave air, void air, or normal air, then we will run function raycast. So what we're doing, we're coming in, the value is set to 100 at the moment, we set it to 99, we go down, we'll do a check here to see if there's an entity, we continue on, it's on, raycast value is on 99, we move forward just a tiny bit, we check to make sure we're not in a block, or we are in air, so this won't go through grass and stuff like that either, and then we run this function again, we take 1 more off the step, we check, we move forwards, we check the block, we take 1 off the step, we move forwards, we check the block, and we'd keep doing that until this hits 0, and then we won't run the function again. Cool. So that's going to fly forwards and do literally nothing. So now we're going to have to check for an entity. So we have to check for an entity on my list. So we will execute as any entity whose type equals hashtag ID. Yep, there it is. We started typing the namespace. It's found it for us. And we'll say dx equals 0 because we want to do a hitbox check. We'll do positioned. I want 3 of those, but I'm going to minus 0.99, 0.99, 0.99 if entity at s dx equals 0. So this is going to be giving us a precise hitbox check at that entity. So we found the entity. We will run return. We're going to leave this function. That will end the raycast. Run function hit. Let's save that. Let's go to hit, and we will just say hi. Now, because we're not doing any killing the entity, we might find we get a little bit laggy when we do this. Or we might find absolutely nothing at all happens. You know, that's always a possibility as well. Okay, we're definitely close enough. So let's have a quick look and see if we've made any simple mistakes. Let's check out the raycast in it. We're setting the steps to 100. That seems good. We are anchoring at the player's eyes. Well, what we could do, we could just do, say, raycast init. We'll put that there. We'll save that. And in the raycast, we will do particle flame, and we'll save that. We'll go back. We'll do a reload. We'll check. Try to run the function manually. I can see the functions are there. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so that time it worked. Did we just not do a reload last time? Ah, see, now I'm saying raycast in it. And then we can see our raycast. By putting that flame in there, we can see where the raycast is. Okay, that's pretty cool. If we go too far away, so we're out of range, we can see how long the raycast is. It's only going to there. Okay, right. Let's remove that raycast init saying, and let's have a look at these commands. We are anchoring from our eyes. We can see that from where the particles were. We're running the function raycast. Let's save that. Let's go to raycast. Execute as any entity whose type is on my list. DX positioned. Looks good. If entity at SDX at S run return run function sploosh.hit. Hit says hi. Okay. We could see. So why is this not checking it? Why are you, naughty little thing, is it literally... Well, that's very strange. What am I missing? What am I missing? Positioned. If the entity hitbox is in there. Well, let's remove that flame. We don't need that. Execute if score raycast match steps value equals 1. Well, we know that's happening because we could see the flames flying through the air. So it just doesn't seem to be getting in there. What have I done wrong? Executed entity type equals ID positioned minus, yeah, that seems all good. Entity at SDX. Ooh, I am a little bit confuddled about what I've done. So we know it's checking the list. Start raycast. Let's have a look at tick. Is there anything we're missing from the tick? Execute as all players. We are executing as the player. We think we could guess that from where the raycast was coming out of our head. Back in the raycast function. Why do you not work? Oh, I see. I haven't put the minus signs in here. Oh, God, sometimes it's just such simple things, isn't it? So we weren't offsetting the hitbox check. Okay, let's go back and have a look. Reload. I'm too far away. Let's get closer. The boat says hi. And the armor stand says hi. So all of that was just to change that command executing as me saying hi to executing as the thing we're looking at is now saying hi. Now, because we are targeting it, we can now pop to the hit function. And instead of saying hi, we will say goodbye instead. There we go. And let's put some effects on as well. I will just copy and paste them because it's just a particle and it's just a sound. There we go. So we're doing a block particle, just be different. Let's up the count. Let's say 150. Let's have a speed of 2. Why not? Let's just play around with that till you get what you like. You can change the sounds, obviously, and change the particles. Okay, let's do a reload. So you shouldn't say hi anymore. You should just explode. Poof. Ooh, it's a bit low, wasn't it? Poof. That looks all right. Maybe we should lift that up a bit. So let's just do 0.5 on this position for the particles. Let's save that. Reload. Now, you're going to have a problem with this. If you try putting a boat down, obviously, you're going to be looking at a boat. So you kind of ruined boats for yourselves because every time I put it down, I'm obviously looking at it. So we'd have to summon a boat. Ooh! There we go, I hit it. What about armor stand? Yeah, obviously we're looking at it. So there we go. Bonk. Let's summon one and let's play around with that range just to give you an extra look at the range. So if we go, we had it set to 100, which is about 10 blocks. We've got to be out of range there. Yeah, we're out of range. So this is waffle time. Waffle and play around time. Let's go to the raycast. Let's put that flame particle back in. Particle flame. Okay. Let's go back. Reload. So we are looking at it. When we look at it, we shoot the raycast and we can see that's the distance we're getting from using 100. We're getting that distance there. So what we can do, you want it to go further, we come into raycast init and we change this number. For now we could probably go about 20 blocks. So let's do a reload. Let's try and go 20 blocks away. That's got to be more than 20. Now we can see how long that raycast is. So we don't have to get too much closer. So we get to about here maybe. Boff. And it went. We didn't hear the sound. So there's an interesting thing. The reason we didn't hear the sound is because we're too far away. So let's keep waffling and playing. Let's go back into the raycast. Let's remove that flame. We've visualized that enough now. And let's go to hit. Now hit is playing at, the sound is playing at the thing we hit. That's why we can't hear the sound. Because we are too far away from the boat. Obviously, if we're closer to the boat, there we go. We've still got the flame. Didn't do a reload. Bonk. Cool. Okay, let's summon a zombie or something. Let's just add, in case you want to add more things to the list. Let's get a husk, not a zombie, because it's nighttime. There's a couple of husks. Nothing happens to them. They are fine. We pop back. We go to our entity tag list, and we just add whatever we want. So we'll add the husk. Save that. Go back. Do a reload. We've got a 20 block long. Take that. It's quite fun actually. Do you think you can escape? Oh, you've just made it out of range. I bet we don't have to come too much closer though, do we? Yeah, take that. What do you want to do with this? I don't know. But there we go. we are using a predicate to check whether we are looking at an entity that is on our entity tag list. If we are firing a raycast at it. We're doing a little hitbox check. If the raycast goes through the entity's hitbox, we are doing some effects and removing the entity. There we go. Hopefully that is the sort of thing. My God, I've been talking for so long, I've forgotten whose request this one was. TitanusAnime. There is TitanusAnime. So hopefully that's the sort of thing they're after. Anyway, I'm off. Busy. Have a great day. See you all soon and take care. Bye-bye.